Spoilers ahead for the recent episode of She-Hulk. If you do not want to be spoiled, please go watch the episode, then come back here. Otherwise, let's begin. Ah man, She-Hulk, She-Hulk, She-Hulk. So we back at it with another episode, and I know I'm a little bit late, a day late to be exact, but honestly, I had to take some time to compress after this episode because this was the most disappointing episode. And I hear the arguments all the time saying that, oh, this show is made for women. It is marketed for women. Yes, but it is still a Marvel Comics property or adaptation. It still has Marvel characters. It is still in the world of the MCU where everyone can enjoy it. So that excuse in that argument is utterly stupid. And honestly, I think it's kind of insulting for female comic book fans by saying, oh, the only way you can enjoy this is if we make it a preachy, garbage adaptation of a character you most likely enjoy. That's why you've come here. And they're basically saying that, oh, only women can enjoy this show if and only if it is treated as a giant pity party. Literally, that is the most sexist argument I've heard. And I'm the one who gets called a misogynist. It's crazy. Remember in my previous reviews and reactions to these shows where I constantly, and I mean constantly reiterated that there was not a single good man in this entire show? Well, guess what? Still being proven to be true. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because as most people predicted, of course, the guy who she was fawning over at the freaking wedding turns out to be a villain of the story as well, and to further the barely existing plot line of someone trying to steal her blood. That is why we get the montage of the showrunners and the writers trying to convince us that this is somehow a good, decent human being. But then again, we got to understand that this is She-Hulk. There is no good man in this show. So after all is said and done, after he claps those proverbial green cheeks and gets the goods, he ghosts her. Because of course he does, literally. Because this show is an allegory for the average wine mom in her experiences dating. Seriously, if I was a woman, bro, I would be insulted if I had this and if I had to be represented in this light as a woman, like literally. And to be perfectly honest, this is what I hate the most about modern media whenever they try to market something towards women as an empowerment move. They constantly have to convince women in America that they are victims of the great systematic oppression and that you are weaker and feeble and pathetic in the eyes of men. Like literally, it's the worst way to quote unquote represent somebody. It's like when I look at these freaking black trauma films and I see it nothing as propaganda. Like that's really all it is. Propaganda in a way to convince me that I am nothing but a victim, which is even more racist than you think it is. And just in case you couldn't tell based on the color of my avatar and the tone of my voice, I am black, so I can speak on this. Okay, sorry for the tangent. Now let's get back into this episode of She-Hulk. And this is where we get into the title of this freaking entire freaking episode and this entire overview of the show. This show is literally just abuse. Like, for the Marvel fans and for the Daredevil fans who came to this show waiting to see Charlie Cox as Daredevil, this show is abuse, man, because they constantly keep giving us episodes that literally no one, not even someone with ovaries, would care for, because this is corny and boring as I don't know what. And again, like I said, it's an allegory for a ghosting event that happens to women occasionally. Like you see her actually obsessing over the fact that she got left on red. And the thing that irks me is the fact that, yeah, she would be seen as cray-cray. Like this is literally something that no man would ever want to deal with and what a lot of men try to avoid when it comes to dealing with women. The crazy woman stereotype. Like, bro, she's practically frothing at the mouth waiting for a response from this guy. And if I was this guy, I would have done the same thing if this was the result. Like, seriously, how desperate can you come off, lady? Seriously, keep it in your pants. You finally get some sookie, and I'm guessing about who knows how many years since you became a lawyer. And this is how you behave afterwards? Like, literally, bro, how and why? Also, what are the odds that she runs into a beta male who just so happens to go to the gym and just so happens to be taller than her and just so happens to like her insufferable personality? Like, no duh, you were getting played. Is it not obvious? You were literally the most annoying woman in this show. And I've seen Titania. So then this episode is kind of sort of another Abomination episode where he was obviously emasculated for this show and treated as if he was just a product of government tampering, even though before the serum even hit, he was already hyper violent, hyper aggressive, and he wanted to become Abomination. Seriously, I don't even think I brought this up in my previous reviews of this show, but yeah, if you've actually seen the Incredible Hulk movie, and if these showrunners gave a flying rat's tail about these freaking MCU, you would know that this man is a mercenary. Freaking kill me. This dude literally was frothing at the mouth when he saw Hulk's power and what it could do for him. Literally, bro. So yeah, I just wanted to point out that yeah, these showrunners, they're all full of shit. They don't really watch their own freaking continuity at all. Like, it's ridiculous to me. Because Kevin Feige captured lightning in a bottle with Thanos and having a somewhat sympathetic villain, even though his freaking methods and motives were completely and utterly stupid. Fight me on that. So now we're gonna constantly keep seeing quote unquote sympathetic villains, even if they weren't sympathetic to begin with, on the MCU. We're gonna keep seeing these type of villains over and over and over again. Either way, this episode, To Summon Our Love, it was about Jen finding herself and finding her self-worth and blah, blah, blah. She was in a freaking group therapy session in a way with Abomination as the host. And yes, it was just as self-indulgent and preachy as you can think it is. Seriously, how do people enjoy this show? Like, to the shills, man, honestly, I know y'all getting paid, but like, bro, y'all have no integrity at all. Like, this show is literally not good. It's literally boring. Like, honestly, and before y'all say, oh, only men don't like this show, look up any review on this show and you can see that women don't like it as well. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. So at the end of the day, that's my thoughts on She-Hulk's latest episode. Honestly, this was an abomination, no pun intended. I hated this episode. This was probably, you know what, bro? This was probably even more boring than the freaking wedding episode. I know that's such a bold claim to make, but man, this had even less importance, bro. Like, I can't with this show, man. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I will see y'all in the next video. I don't want to waste no more time with this. Peace.